I found something pretty substantial with Necrochasm that elevates it, and here's what's getting ready to happen. 1, it's going to get changed. It depends on if it was intended. Or 2, it's going to stay. I believe that it is intended, and I'll show you why. And what it does opens up some things. It's very cool what's going on. But whatever happens, if this gets changed or not, it doesn't take away what overall Necrochasm is. And what is it? It's amazing. It's a great weapon, so let's get into it. We have the return of an iconic weapon, but with a huge twist. Necrochasm is a beast. It will be in loadouts. It pulls its own weight, even in the Crucible. It's brutal there. 720 RPM, the exotic trait is Desperation. Reloading after Precision Final Blow or Final Blow with the Cursed Thrall Explosion increases your fire rate and improves stability and aim assist. The intrinsic exotic trait, Cursebringer. Precision Final Blows with this weapon trigger a Cursed Thrall Explosion. Final Blows with the Cursed Thrall Explosions refill the magazine, so it flows. It's got a lot of built-in synergy, even more so with this Catalyst. I don't have it, but the Catalyst is Outlaw. And to me, that's kind of perfect. Not every Catalyst is weapon altering like Trinity Ghoul, but the goal should be to augment the loop. Malfeasant's got Vorpal Weapon, and I think that works out pretty good for it. You need Precision Final Blows, so Outlaw completes that loop of what you're trying to do. I think that it's a great catalyst, and I can't wait to get it. But its exotic perk, the trait, it's a twist on Desperado. Reloading after Precision Final Blow increases its rate of fire. So with Necrochasm, you get that Final Blow, you reload, or get a Final Blow with that Cursed Thrall Explosion. The fire rate increases 25%. It goes to 900 RPM. It's still doing the same damage at base. And in PvE, it's an exotic, 40% more damage to red bars, and versus red bars is where you want it to be. That's where it feasts, that's what you want it to do. So you get a fire rate increase. You also take into account its stats. Its range is at 39, which is more than enough. And in the Crucible with the mid-range shakeup, it holds its own. 94 stability, 65 handling, 76 reload, 85 aim assist. And remember, with its exotic perk, reloading after that Precision Final Blow, you get increased stability, so it goes to 100 stability and aim assist. So I would assume the aim assist gets close to, if not 100. If you have on targeting for the Crucible, it's definitely getting to 100. Great stats to fill out that trait. It also comes with a 1.7 times zoom, and even though zoom doesn't matter as far as range fall off, it does help with feel. A higher zoom now means you do get better accuracy, you do get better stability. Paired with its base 94 stability, it feels good. Like when you look at the ally, comes with rangefinder perpetual motion, it's got a 1.5 times zoom. So they gave a little bit more zoom to help out with the feel. Necrochasm is treated like some of the other ad clears that we've seen, like Sunshot, like Trinity Ghoul, like Osteostriga. Its whole purpose is to absolutely destroy areas. And with this Cursed Thrall Explosion, it does exactly that. And with those Cursed Thrall Explosions, it's great AoE, damaging and downing a lot of surrounding enemies, but it's also refilling the magazine so you can just keep going and going. It's got a 50-round magazine. Plenty of room to get downs, plenty of room to refill that magazine. As I was playing with it, here's something that's really cool. And this is the special thing that it does. This Thrall damage, the Thrall Explosion, which you've probably seen, very powerful, chains kind of like Sunshot, chains kind of like Osteostriga. Built in, the Thrall Explosion has poison. Let's remember this is a weapon of sorrow. So it kind of has built-in necrotic grips, kind of built-in Osteostriga, because you could splash some enemies and say they don't get downed by the Thrall Explosion. They can still poison damage tick all the way down to a Final Blow, then they'll have a Cursed Thrall Explosion. But here's the deal with Cursebringer. Let's remember, this is an exotic kinetic weapon, taking primary ammo. But the secret about it, the Cursed Thrall Explosion is actually arc. It is arc damage, and since it's arc, that opens up some things. Keep in mind. So people have been talking about necrotic grip, so yes, it's gonna work, Weapons of Sorrow, and what that's doing is adding on more poison tick damage to just completely spread the area even more, which is great. That's gonna be a solid thing to use it with. But since it's arc, if you were to pair it with, let's say, Verity's Brow, weapon final blows matching the damage type of your subclass grant death throws, which provide a grenade damage bonus and grenade energy. When you throw a death throw grenade, nearby allies get increased grenade regeneration for a short time. So when you start chaining those Thrall Explosions, we start getting death throw stacks. They accumulate, and it works. So in this particular instance, that means a couple things. One, Necrochasm, a kinetic primary, is doing that. So you don't necessarily need to have an arc energy or arc heavy. You could do something else. You could do like an incandescent weapon. This is, of course, if you're able to get the arc downs. And I tested a ton of things that have to do with arc, like Crown of Tempest, no. But something like Battle Harmony, yes. Takedowns with weapons matching your subclass grants super energy. I have an Ikelos arc weapon here. Get a Final Blow, you see the bonus. Same deal. As you start getting those collaterals, Necrochasm gets that same bonus for super energy. And with it doing arc damage, it makes sense. And this is why I think it's intended. Being a weapon of sorrow, yes, it works with necrotic grips, but also it works with touch of malice. And I believe that I was the first one to discover that. The blight comes out, hits a target. Weapons of sorrow do increase damage to that target. But let's also remember, the blight is arc damage. Necrochasm's kind of doing the same thing, same but different. It's dealing arc damage in a separate way. So these type of interactions are on top, and I haven't tested things like arc weapon surge, some arc mods. But something like Titan, I first tried it and I was like, no shot. This is really cool. Precious Scars. Final blows from weapons with the damage type matching your subclass energy create a burst of healing around you. And after reviving or being revived, you gain an aura that provides an overshield to you and allies. So when those cursed thrall explosions get collaterals, see the healing times 2 come up. And also, just simply being on arc built into the subclass, you get a lot of chaining final blows. You become amplified. Well, with Necrochasm, if you get a whole bunch of chain thrall explosions, you become amplified. And that helps the reload speed, helps out the weapon. Really cool synergy. And with the theme of arc, it also works with the artifact mod Elemental Orbs Arc. While using an arc subclass, arc weapon final blows have a chance to spawn an arc elemental orb. They can be thrown to create an arc explosion that jolts targets it damages. With all the thrall chaining that goes on, you could find yourself with a little arc orb that pops out at the end. Pretty cool. So for PvE, it is a workhorse. It's going to be great in every single party activity you do, every seasonal activity. It's an exotic primary, 40% more damage. It feels like it's going to do well in higher end content. We also happen to have Overload AR this season to help it out. But the coolest part to me is this is like the first kinetic weapon that is getting like a little energy subtype to where you can have some build synergy with some of your exotics and mods. And that's just going to be on top of it being an absolute monster. It's really fun to use with its loop. You feel powerful with it. For the Crucible, no joke there. And I believe what's really letting it hang around is that mid-range shakeup. So 39 base range, it functions like a hybrid SMG. But this hybrid SMG has 94 stability, 65 handling, and the handling is high enough to where you can kind of use it like a hybrid SMG. You could run sniper with it. These rapid fire auto rifles have a .77 TTK. It's very competitive. It's 9 crit, 1 body. That's a 10 bullet kill. But what's cool about it, the stats, the 94 stability, and then you get the perk for 100 stability, and then the max aim assist. Not too difficult to reach that 9 crit, 1 body TTK. You can absolutely beam with it. So we have the .77. When you reload, get Desperation, Desperado going, you get the aim assist, you get the stability, you get the fire rate. So at 900 RPM, it's a 9 crit, 1 body for a .6 TTK. Absolutely melting TTK. And that's why it's going to beat Ally and the other 720s, because it has this Desperado perk with max stability, max aim assist. And the second part of it, at first I tried it with necrotic grips and that works well. Like pretty much the first duel I got into, I got a collateral with it. But the thrall explosion in general, you do not need necrotic grips. Like right here, I got a final blow and it picked up 2 collateral. Win 1 duel, down 3 people. It's got crazy AoE. Like think Cloud Strike, a little short mid-range Cloud Strike. But it works, and it works well because at base, within its range, 94 stability, duels well. It can win duels. But when you get this chaining Desperado, kind of like Kill Clip, to run around with, it's a menace. Lightning fast TTK with the opportunity to get a lot of collaterals if players are around. I'm very impressed with it. I'm having a lot of fun with it in the Crucible, and in PvE, you might be wondering, is it going to take the clearing capabilities of Volt Shot, or Incandescent, or Osteo, or Trinity Ghoul, or Sunshot? I wouldn't look at it like that, like at all. They all have the same function with a different loop. With Necrochasm, you have really good ad clear, and if the explosions hit majors or yellow bars, ultras, bosses, it does good damage, but you also have this synergy with the arc subclass, so things like Spark of Discharge. And as I'm doing this review, I just keep finding more and more. There's probably a ton more. Spark of Discharge works. Arc weapon final blows have a chance to create an ionic trace. As you're getting those collaterals, that can happen. So in all, yes, it is like Osteo and all that, but again, I wouldn't really compare them. It's same but different. You can do different things with this. It has a different loop. It's very strong, and it's a weapon you're going to have a ton of fun with. And as far as the Crucible, it is strong there too. Smaller maps are coming back. A lightning fast .6 TTK. It outduels a lot of things because of its stability, because of its aim assist. Remember, the more stability you have, the more anti-flinch you have. So it's a perfect dueling weapon. And with the perk, it's a menace. It's so good. So nothing but great things to say from me about Necrochasm. It's a masterpiece. It really is. So contest mode is gone, and that raid should be a ton easier. If you don't have it, maybe you didn't get a team, this is one worth going for. Once you start playing with it, it's very addicting. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Necrochasm down below. If you have it, what are your thoughts on it? Tell others about it. It's just a brand new thing. And as I play with it more, if I come across more things, I might make a video. And honestly, a Sunday video is very rare for me, but I wanted to get this out. It's new. I want you guys to try different things and have fun with it. Let's talk about it down below. Thank you for watching. And until the next one, I am CoolGuy.